Hello people, this is Power here with a review of the Power Rangers Beast Morphers Season 2 figures? Wave 1? I don't know what you call this. Is this considered like Wave 1 of the new season? Or is it Wave 4? I don't get it at all. So, Robbie's gonna fall. So, obviously, this is the first wave of the second season of Beast Morphers. Obviously there's some things they changed, as this is now in the color of the Ranger, which I'm surprised they didn't even do beforehand. And obviously, we get 3 figures instead of the typical 5. So this wave consists of Beast X Red, Beast X Blue, and Cybervillain Robo Blaze. So also, a thing to point out too is that the backs no longer show the whole lineup of the figures, which confuses me because I guess they don't want to spoil what the line's gonna be. Because I think we actually do have 2 more figures in this line, but they primarily advertised it as these 3. And also they have a new gimmick of a spinning sword. Yeah, as you can see from here, they have individual weapons and they have instructions? Huh. Beast X Blue. And obviously, advertised to go along with the Beast X King Morpher. And obviously that you can still put in the Beast X Morpher and then Robo Boys. So that's basically it for these 3 figures, and we shall open them up. Gosh. So here we have the figures out of the box and such. So let's go over them individually. So moving Ravi and Robo Boys out of the way. And their accessories. So here we have Beast X Red. And here comes my issue with this wave of figures, which is their lack of paint, because it kind of ruins the design for me, honestly, for Powered Custom, because these were, while it's like really minor trims, those trims really make this power up stand, because now if you just look at it, you're not going to really tell a lot of differences, and you're just going to be like, wow, they really just like released a figure I already have with minor changes. So, like, for comparison, here's the normal figure, and like, honestly, a lot just kind of like falls through. Which, there's like even paint I did not realize they did have. Like, were the boots always? Like, were the boots colored in Powered Custom? Like, a lot of paint is just gone. And that's just kind of saddening. Like, I did not realize this much paint was just non-existent. And obviously the thing that made Power Custom stand out is that they had their helmets with they had silver trims for the helmets, but here it's not present at all, because all they just reused the same head, and it's like, that's not accurate. The only worth noting thing is that they still have the GB custom visor, but like, that's it. And then with this is the same method they did with Red Fury mode, but you can't remove it this time. Like, you probably can, but you probably break it or rip it. So I'm pretty sure with this they use the same base as that, and it's just a mess. But cover and articulation, it's still the same. Head 360 head ball joint. You can move these arms around like a ratchet thing. a slight ratchet. But then like this will move along, it just looks awkward. You can rotate this all the way through. There's still no hand swivel. You can kick forward, you can't kick back. You can kick to the side, thank gosh. But I feel like I have some access plastic here, which is weird. I can actually bend the knee and swivel it around and such, so there's that. His accessories include this lion bow thing, which technically comes in the box like so. It comes like this, but then you're able to rotate it just like that. This is a pretty interesting bow. It just sucks that I got it bent, but yeah. So you just try your best at slotting this in his hand, which he can actually hold, like so. And then we get this stupid lion spinning sword. If they actually made a toy of this, which there currently are listings for, then I'll actually be interested. But yeah. So this sword, what they're trying to do is that it swivels, like it spins. It's dumb, because that's not the whole point of a sword. A sword, like, I can see it because they want to, I guess, want to replicate, like, woo, look at the bullets I'm, like, reflecting, but it's just, like, when he has to hold it, it's just horrible. Like, unless you, like, do something like this, it's just really flimsy. It's not great. It's just bad. So I'm just going to copy other people and make him hold it by this weird area where he's probably not supposed to hold it. That's if his hands allow him, which they won't. So there's that. There's his bow, his lion bow, and lion sword. So everything's lion in this one. I don't even know what they were getting the Buster. They should have like included. I don't even know how they were included that. Obviously, we get his Morph X Key. So, which looks pretty neat. It's in the same line as the one that came with the Beast X King Morpher. With having it as the same blade. And if I do a comparison over the original one, you can tell they tried to keep the same touches, but then this one they just made bulkier. Not as bulky as this, but and then one thing I'm going to note, which disappoints me of this one, they use the same pin. Like, why? Which is why I did not bother showing this one in the Morpher review. Oh, okay, then obviously you can peg this in to here, which doesn't look bad, and it's actually quite long. It's quite looser, so that's interesting. How do I remove it? That's fun. I don't really care for this gimmick, but because I don't want to ruin my figures as I just did. Like, I don't know, like mine doesn't even have like paint down here and such. And I might as well just show this too, because okay, that one's tight. That's concerning. Yay, way more paint chipping, because I don't really like Hasbro's paint. So, okay, yep, there's David, so he's just gonna be like, I don't know, whatever. Here we have Ravi. I want to say this one's my favorite out of the two, just because I like how basic it looks. Because I think blue and yellow have more basic designs, but again, he just suffers from the same issue of lack of paint. So yeah, it just kind of sucks overall. But again, his helmet was supposed to have a blue or a silver trim, but they didn't bother doing that, so that's fun. I'm not going to bother doing the articulation, just besides the fact he still has that same shoulder piece, but again, you can't really detach it, so yep. His accessories, he comes with the same stupid sword. So Robbie's actually more difficult putting things in, as I was able to put that in. Yeah, he comes with that stupid sword, but then he comes with this blaster. Basically it's a more upgraded version of. I don't have it on me actually. Of the camera gun. So that's interesting. And the cool thing too is that you can actually there's a peg up here. And the purpose of this for turning is that you can actually combine these two together and make this, which actually is pretty cool. Like, you know, that's just something neat to point out. Whether or not they actually make these toys or not, or if they're actually going to be appearing in the series, who knows? Like, they're probably going to make toys out of them because they have to sell something, but in show, most unlikely. So there's Ravi. His I feel like I bent his down because I was actually initially having a difficult time putting this gun in his hand when I initially tried to unbox him. I think that's included in the unboxing, but I don't know. I forgot how I posed him. So there's Robbie. His Morph X Key is probably my favorite out of the set. Again, upgraded gorilla. And comparing him with his original counterpart, and unlike Red, they're actually different. So again, that's something I appreciate. And obviously, of course, Morph X Key compatibility, which I realized with him, he actually has like these armor pieces on his gauntlet, which is actually pretty interesting. But I think that actually kind of hinder with how that works on him, and that wasn't as bad. I just don't like putting Morph X keys on my figures because they're just gonna break. Not break, they're gonna get worn out. So there you go, Robbie. Last but not least, honestly my favorite figure is Robo Boys. I don't know how they're gonna explain he's a robot, but yeah, so obviously this is Enter's first form, which yeah, I don't know how they're going to explain this in the show, but gosh, like this figure, I really like just all the detail in it and such. Like Enter's goggles, they even have that design on the left one. Like, wow. Just overall, like, even this scarf, I don't even know what that is, but, and this cape, like, oh my gosh, I like this blending so much. Oh gosh, this figure. uh, Comparing it to quote unquote original Blaze, he's way different. Just because, obviously the context of the show. So technically it went this way, but for us it went this way. So because there's no similarities towards them, so maybe besides this, I think this is the only thing that carried over. But other than that, yeah, I don't know. I prefer Enter's original look over Darkbuster because I kind of don't like Darkbuster. His articulation as a villain, so he has like Blaze is actually Robo Blaze is interesting too because he has these parts, these extra pieces on him, which actually looks cool. So like, okay, I feel like I'm gonna break him. So he has this like extra knee thing, and that like it's just so cool. Oh my gosh, Blaze, I feel like his knee I can't really bend because I feel like I'm gonna break him. But obviously he can't do the splits because he's a villain. But who cares? So his accessories include his Enter's original like fencing sword, which is pretty neat. Just goes onto his hand pretty well. And then we get a black and gold recolor of the Cheetah Beast Blaster because he originally came with one, as shown here. So this is our third one now, but yeah, they literally just repainted this one and made this gold. This actually looks really nice. So gosh. So slot that like in, slot like that, like so, and then yeah. Like I genuinely like this figure. So here's his Morph X Key. It's obviously different from his original one. But it still has the same bulk as the these two and Beast X King, so that's actually pretty neat. So this is still the same. They didn't change anything, and just because they're completely different, so. And of course I have to, this one I'm not gonna worry as much because I don't think there's any, well, besides any like paint scratches, but. So that's how that works on him. Do these promote like Morph X Key compatibility? Yeah, they do. Okay. I don't know why I forgot, but yeah, Blaze is honestly probably my favorite out of the set, so let's just get on with the Morph X Keys on both Morphers. So obviously we're going to start off with the Beast X Key Morpher. Go Power Rangers! I thought there would have been an activation sound. Oh, okay. So we're going to start with red first. These are really difficult trying to pull. It's Morphin' time! Cheetah Beast Power! Red! So there, we actually get an actual phrase from David, which is the same thing as this. Activate Beast X mode! I assume that's his second phrase, but we'll continue. Let's go! Fake David. Cheetah Beast Power! Red! Rangers, it's go time! Activate Beast X mode! Cheetah Beast Power! Red! Rangers, power up! Activate Beast X mode! Rangers, it's go time! Cheetah Beast Power! Red! Activate Beast X mode! It's Morphin' time! finisher.
Activate Beast X mode. Virus eliminated.
Sorry about that boringness. See, okay, like, his is one of the few keys that actually has difficulty of trying to get this, trying to, like, completely open this up. So, that's interesting. Next, we got blue.
It's morphin' time. Gorilla Beast Power, blue.
And now we actually have Robbie.
Beast X Gorilla, slam. Rangers, power up. Gorilla Beast Power, blue. Let's go. Beast X Gorilla, slam. Activate Beast X mode.
Sorry about that.
Virus eliminated.
I think it would have been cool if Robbie was the one that said it's morphin' time and activate Beast X mode, just because of what's gonna eventually happen. So now we got Blaze, or Robo Blaze.
Virus upload complete. Sorry to crash the party, Rangers. Your beast powers will be mine. You can run, but you can't hide. Sorry to crash the party, Rangers. The Morph X is mine. Your beast powers will be mine. Your beast powers will be mine.
Stop it.
Victory is mine, Rangers.
I just keep stepping on that. Gosh. Okay, so now let's look at the Beast X Morpher. This one I'm not going to bother going through everything again because we already know what this one was.
Cheetah Beast Power, red. Let's go for a spin, Cruz. Cheetah Beast Power, red.
So this is our third version of this key. That's fun.
Gorilla Beast Power, blue. Reporting for duty. Gorilla Beast Power, blue. Rangers, it's go time. Go, go, Power Rangers. Rangers, it's go time. Are you ready? Say it's morphin' time. Rangers, power up. Unleash the beasts. Virus eliminated.
I don't know why that light goes on for longer.
Let's go.
Now for our Robo Blaze, I need to remember to do this in frame, but I don't know.
You'll never defeat me. Virus upload complete. You'll never defeat me. Not today, Rangers. Are you ready? Say it's morphin' time. Go, go, Power Rangers.
I only got this to say it's morphin' time once.
Not today, Rangers.
I'll admit, it's actually way easier to do the motion sensor sounds in here than here.
Victory is mine, Rangers.
Yep. So overall, I think about this new first wave of Beast Morphers figures. I don't. Do you consider this wave 4 or wave 1? Because this series does not have a new subheading, so like, I don't know what I call it. Wave 1 or wave 4? But what I think about this new like wave of Beast Morpher figures is that they're fine. Uh, I do think it's a downgrade from like the previous waves, however, just because like these lack a lot of paint and their accessories are kind of weird. This guy's probably the only one that's actually like somewhat accurate. But yeah. I am looking forward to the next few new waves of this series because we still have a lot of keys to release. But because of the fact they're doing 3 figures per wave, I wonder if this means we can get more waves because technically we had 3 waves in Beast Morphers, but then the first and third ones were 5 figures, while wave 2 was 2 figures. Because essentially we're doing that same thing. We're starting that way too. We start with these 3, but then they're going to have another wave that's going to have these 3, gold, silver, and Beast X Yellow and Vargoyle. I think Vargoyle is supposed to replace him, but and gold and silver are just re-releases. So I would try to get Yellow and Vargoyle as soon as they come out. As for what's to come after, that's all in limbo. Because, like, yeah, we do have another Roxy to release because of how Go Busters went. But that, I'm not really sure if they're actually going to bother to release more, like, Monsters of the Week and such. And then obviously with the Beast Bots, they're doing those, like, Beast Spot and Ranger figures, which I'll probably get when they're, like, at deep sales. Because I don't want to get I don't want to get it just for a key that looks the same, but that actually activates different sounds. So being a Morph X Key completist is really difficult. So yeah, this wave is alright, but it's kind of my least favorite. So this is PowerRider, and I'll leave people. Bye.